Hey ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Basketball Wives. I'm telling you this right now, until they get to the main stuff that we've been waiting for, I'm not going to put in too much effort into this show. This starts off with where it left off. And it was Jackie's PSA party for, it's like a combination of Black Lives Matter / Stop the Gun Violence / Stop Police Brutality all in one type of thing, which was great. The problem is the ladies are a mess. They are a mess, and Kristen just starts crying because, after it gets separated, Reggie has to come in and kind of, calm Tammy down. And Kristen starts crying because I think she realizes she's not built for this stupid reality show mess. The fact that we're at a PSA that's supposed to be dedicated to bringing more awareness so that hopefully this eventually stops happening in the future at some point, maybe some distant point, but at some point, and you ladies are fighting. So then Shawnee's like, what's the matter? And Kristen's saying the obvious. Hello? Don't you realize that this is a bad look for them as black women to be going and arguing like this petty arguing, but especially for something, at an event that actually matters. And I said, Kristen, you are right, but this is a reality show. This is what happens. Sorry. But you are right. You're right, but you signed up for the wrong show if you didn't want this type of shenanigans to occur. So then Jennifer was just like, oh, dang, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Jennifer like, okay. Jennifer actually does it's called Hot Bingo, and her, what do you call that person? Her relationship expert sets it up. It's essentially regular bingo, but it's called spicy. Instead of getting the word bingo, you have to get spicy. Once you get spicy, then the premise is you come up and you introduce yourself. So these guys are all there to talk to Jennifer. There's a couple of guys who are automatic no's. Some are too young. Some are just seem like really all over the place. Have no problems cheating. One guy that Jennifer likes, but he's probably a bad boy. He acknowledged that, he cheats. He's probably a serial cheater. Like, hey, stuff happens type of thing. And Jennifer was still kind of intrigued. And I'm looking at this like, oh my God. Really? Really? Aside from that, we have this other guy who seems a little bit more mature and business oriented, and he has a good job. So Jennifer's like, we can go on a date. So she actually goes out on a date with him, and at one point she talks about how, she gets into a relationship. She normally chooses not the right type of guys, and because of that, it ends up being her having to deal with her it feels like she gets effed in the butt without any lube. And at first I thought, okay, maybe this guy doesn't have a sense of humor and he's gonna be thrown off by, whoa, why is she talking like that on this first date? But he was like, you know what, I've had a couple of those situations. So I said, okay, cool, now we're done with Jennifer, because I don't care about all that. What's next? Malaysia has to sit down with Cici, and Cici is just trying to say, hey, the way how Kristen's been acting, the way how Kristen has befriended Jennifer, it's not right. It's not fair because she's taking sides. We're supposed to be friends, but clearly we're not close. We're surface, so that's that. And I think that Malaysia, I see where she's coming from. I just don't necessarily agree. So Malaysia's whole idea of this is, it doesn't matter that Cici is that Kristen has befriended Jennifer, because if you were really supposed to be close, you're supposed to be able to talk things out. She's essentially kind of pushing the blame on Cici, and I'm just trying to figure out, how does this make sense? How does this make sense? It doesn't. Well, it doesn't, because then later on she talks to Cici, and Cici talks about how she got this text from, I think actually Byron, saying that, look, we don't need to do things anymore because we feel like we're getting taken advantage of in our friendship. And part of that is apparently Cici invites them places, and then they do offer to pay. Kristen and her husband offer to pay, but Byron, he no, or Cici's just like, oh yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'm thinking, don't worry about that. Then what's the problem? Like, what's the problem? It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. And then Kristen talks about how, they haven't seen my child in a long time, and we're supposed to be family. I said, okay, that's definitely a problem. That's definitely a problem, but is the actual issue the show, or were you two not as close as you thought you were? And now that you have a new friend and Cici isn't cool with the group, because she's not cool with the group, she's not filming with the group, so she's not cool with the group, just causing a big divide and a big division. Is that what's going on? We have Tammy, who still is unsure of this whole marriage thing, and I'm looking at Tammy like, Tammy, you know you love you some Reggie. Stop it. Stop. Tammy. Come on now. What else happened? Hold on. Oh, yeah, so in OG, her mother was there again because OG is trying to figure out what she's going to do with Kwame. OG wants children, but she wants a full commitment first. And she doesn't feel like Kwame right now really wants to go and confirm that, yes, I want to do that, or no, I really don't want to do that at this time. But her timeline is now. And her mother tells her again, you know what to do. You know what you want in life. If you do not get what you need from this man, you can move on. You can move on. And I said, great advice. It should be obvious, but sometimes to people, the obvious stuff is the things that go over their head. So I said, great, perfect, so what sense? Now, what ends up happening afterwards is she has this little Kwame's overseas, and I guess this is supposed to be like their Skype date night. The problem is that she wants to go and ask him, hey, so are we, after, your season's over, are we going to make it official? Like, is marriage in the near future, kids, a full commitment? And he's speechless. And she's like, really, you're doing this? And the scene doesn't go anywhere. Because she feels like, because it's clear that if OG's his first girlfriend, his first real committed girlfriend, why do you think that he's just gonna be all in, when he probably has different options being thrown at him left or right? Let's just call it what it is. And so OG, you know what your answer is. If your timeline is now, then no, it's not gonna work, or it's gonna be forced. One of the two. Second, we have what was it? Kristen also went and she had the babysitter, and she wanted to try out the babysitter. The babysitter does things differently than Kristen, so it wasn't going to work out. I felt like this was kind of almost a joke, because I'm looking at this like, is this really real? Daughter's super cute, so might as well just spend a day with her daughter. I would have enjoyed seeing that more than just this babysitter come and not do things the way that Kristen wants her to do things, and not share the same dietary ideals when it comes to diets and all that, because Kristen is like, the baby can have seafood but not other meats, And I'm like, okay, fine, cute, fair enough. The woman's like, really? I said, is this real? That's what I was thinking the entire time. But that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Um, Come back next week. Hopefully they give us something different.